How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another preseason FPL video. And today, we're back with the Team Watch series, the penultimate video. We're going to be taking a look at West Ham. We're going to be looking at their attacking options for FPL, as well as their defensive ones, and what they're doing in the transfer market to help strengthen their squad. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe channel if you're new, as well as turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it's readily available. Also, drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, as well as give us a follow over on Twitch so you can join us live and exclusive over on Twitch for our preview and deadline and any impromptu FPL streams. The first stream is tomorrow at the time of recording, so recording this on the 31st of July. The first stream will be tomorrow on the Monday, the 1st of August. It's the week leading up to game week 1. I'm very excited for it, so make sure to check us out and tune in for that. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at West Ham's defensive options. Now, under David Moyes, West Ham have usually provided a very comfortable clean sheet setup as they play a bit more on the defensive side and rely on the likes of Bowen and Antonio on the counter-attack, but they need that base in behind to see if they can, kind of keep the goals out of their own net, because typically they don't score a crazy amount of goals, although if you look at last season's data in terms of their shots inside the box and their non-penalty XG, it was actually pretty good for the most part. And even in the last 4 matches, you would think, okay, well, they're still fighting for stuff. 6 big chances over 4 matches is, pretty decent. You're giving yourself at least a chance to score almost a guaranteed goal pretty much every time. Even though XG is I think it's like 0.33 for a big chance or something like that. But still, a lot of shots inside the box, and I think that comes down to their attack. But the platform is there to keep clean sheets, and I think some of their assets are a bit overpriced. So if we look here with the 3 that I have up on the graphic, Fabianski, Dawson, and Cresswell all come in at 5 million. I think they would be being considered, to be honest, had the Man City fixture not been the first one right out the gate. I also think that there's still some uncertainty about Fabianski's placement in the team. Alphonse Areola, who's, fully submitted his move and is confirmed to be a West Ham goalkeeper now, moved from PSG. We'll talk about more of him in the transfer section. Could prove to be some doubts over Fabianski. Dawson was looking to be potentially as a backup with the likes of Zuma and their newly signed Aguero being the kind of ahead of Dawson, and he's coming at slightly more than Zuma, which doesn't make too much sense. So again, he's not really that much of an option. And then we look at Cresswell, who is very good on set pieces, but that Man City fixture just isn't the nicest, and there are better 5 million defenders that have better fixtures right out the gate. You could think of, the likes of Zinchenko as an example from Arsenal. Kyle Walker, if at the time of recording, Man City still haven't signed a left back, which means he's probably going to play right back week in, week out until they sign a left back and Cancelo maybe swaps over to the side and alleviates him of his position. You can probably safely say that defensively, West Ham probably aren't going to be picked off the start, even though after the Man City fixture, their fixtures look to be quite good. Forest, again, are unknown quantity. Brighton typically don't score very many goals, and it's a home fixture for West Ham, which will benefit them. And Villa have struggled to score goals, at least at the end of last season as well. So it might be actually a good option. And all of those teams, Forest, again, are a bit of an unknown. West Ham are very good at set pieces, and Man City aren't the greatest at defending them. Brighton are pretty good on set plays themselves, defending-wise. Aston Villa maybe not so much. So maybe there's something to be had there set piece-wise. I think that's why a lot of FPL managers are also going for Gabriel, because against Crystal Palace and Leicester, they're looking to exploit that set piece threat. And I think Cresswell is very good on set pieces as well. I just think that Man City fixture is kind of putting a bit of a mark on West Ham's defensive assets, at least to start the season. Me personally, though, if you were going to go for one, I think Cresswell's the one to go for. I think he's the key man in basically everything that they do. Whether he plays at left-sided centre-back in a back 3, left wing-back in the 3-4-3 system, or he plays at left-back in a back 4, he's mainly the guy to go for because he's on most of the set pieces and just gets up and down the pitch really well. So if you're going to go for West Ham asset, he's the one I would go for. But more interestingly, let's talk about West Ham's attacking options. Now, West Ham's attack has been bolstered in this new season, and we're looking to see some revitalization from the likes of Antonio, who started off like a house on fire and then just kind of tapered off. And I think the first few game weeks we could see a much better Antonio, at least the Antonio that we saw at the beginning of last season. I've also put Declan Rice on the graphic because he's someone that could be in contention for taking penalties this season. It was Lanzini for the majority of last season, but now that Mark Noble has left the club, who was the official penalty taker for West Ham as he has retired, we could see potentially a change of the guard. Maybe Rice will take the penalties because Lanzini is also a bit of a rotation risk with the likes of Fornals and Ben Rama and these sorts of players that could just interchange and swap out positions week in, week out, and you never know if they're going to play on a weekly basis. There's only 4 spots in that front 4, whereas Declan Rice is going to play game in, game out alongside Souček, assuming he's fit. Now, the interesting player that I think had he been 8 million and there not been the Man City fixture there, I think everyone might have had Jarrod Bowen in their team. 8.5 million, just a bit inconvenient in terms of price point, but Nottingham Forest, Brighton, and Aston Villa are very good fixtures for West Ham to do well. And I think the double up of Antonio and Bowen could be on the cards come game week 3, 4, maybe even 5 or 6 when West Ham's fixtures are really, really good. And I think we may be overlooking them at the moment. I mean, Jarrod Bowen last season, there's a reason he got hiked up to 8.5 million. I think it might have been a mistake to do that, but he was getting output like he was a very expensive FPL asset for his price last season. He was really, really good. And there was a time where we were captaining him over other players, like the likes of Salah and stuff like that, because he had like a double game week alongside Antonio, and you had both of them, and it was the whole Antonio versus Bowen 50-50 there. I was on the wrong side of that. But I think Jarrod Bowen, if he continues to play the way he was doing last season, I mean, he's going to be in the England team for sure, 100%, maybe even starting on that right-hand side. And I think the West Ham rely on him and Antonio to the point where you kind of know that they're talismanic, and you know that they're going to be the guys that put the ball in the back of the net, or at least get the assist. It's kind of the way how Spurs kind of work, where you see a goal notification, ding, oh, Spurs scored. It's probably Kane or Son who was on the end of it, and it was probably one of them who assisted it most likely. And if it's not, well, then you got to start asking questions, because then it's very unlikely that they weren't involved in some way, shape, or form, whether it be the pass before the assist itself, or the goal-scoring action. Antonio and Bowen are the 2 crucial FPL players that could be in our teams this season. I just think that Bowen's price at 8.5 million might be a bit too much off the start, but we could see a move to him after the opening few weeks when we start to see more of what West Ham are about. And when we get to the transfer section, you'll know why that is a bit more, because they have a new forward, which could potentially shake some things up on how they play. And he might be better value than both of these guys if he's the one getting all the chances. Now, let's take a look at those transfer activity options that West Ham have done for the summer transfer window. Now, West Ham have done some activity in the transfer market, and very surprising activity to say the least. They brought in a very talented striker, very tall, very imposing, very akin to West Ham's style of play in Scamacca. He's coming at 7 million from Sassuolo, just over 30 million pounds, and he could be absolutely brilliant for West Ham, especially since they like to play towards set pieces and naturally have a much taller squad than most, if not all, the teams in the Premier League. If you just look at their squad in general, I mean, Dawson's very good on set pieces, so is Zuma. Their newly signed Aguero is also going to be good on set pieces too. Declan Rice and Souček are naturally tall. And then you add in the likes of Scamacca and Antonio, you could be seeing very, very big problems for opposition when West Ham come against them and they get an offensive set piece. Scamacca could also be the guy who plays through the middle and be the facilitator for the likes of Antonio, who might be pushed out to the left-hand side, and have Bowen on the right-hand side. That might be something that they go to, something I kind of alluded to in the previous sections of this video. Aguero is someone who's coming as well. Another 5 million defender. However, he has picked up an injury, so I wouldn't be jumping on him just yet. but could see him be quite successful in defense. Again, you would probably just go for Cresswell, who's going to be a bit more attacking. Although if West Ham starts scoring a boatload of goals from set pieces, he might be one of those on the end of them. Alphonse Areola, who has basically finalized his move. He was on loan last season and will probably be the future potential goalkeeper for West Ham, assuming Fabianski basically retires or goes to a different team at the end of this season. I can envision a situation where Fabianski, if he gets injured at any point this season, Areola would just keep his place even if Fabianski does come back. And in terms of the outs, Yarmolenko has left the club, as well as Mark Noble, who has retired, to longer-standing players in the team. And then Issa Diop is someone who's being linked away to the likes of Fulham and other lower-end Premier League teams, as well as abroad as well. He could go for around £8 million and would be a potential way into a cheaper version of West Ham's defense if he were to stay and play regularly. But with the likes of Ogbonna, Dawson, newly signed Aguero, Zuma, I just don't see him getting any game time, so I think it's a good move for him. Wasn't really going to be an FPL option that much anyway. So let me just think down in the comments below, what have West Ham done in the transfer window that you've liked? What have you seen that you don't like? And let me know what you think they need to strengthen for the rest of the summer transfer window.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Scout members area, the one place that you need to be tuned into for the upcoming FPL season. It has a wide variety of resources and tools that will help improve your FPL game today. It has a bunch of different members-only articles written by some of the best FPL managers across the globe, heat maps for all the players and positions, as well as player comparison tools, which will help you see side by side who is going to be more effective for your FPL team, fully customizable stats tables powered by Opta stats, and much, much more. Use the link down in the description below so that you can get access to the Fantasy Football Scout members area today. It'll help improve your FPL game. This video has been sponsored by Manscaped, the best in male below-the-waist grooming. Make sure to check out manscaped.com so you can see the latest and greatest updates to their lawnmower, as well as their performance package, and much, much more for all their gadgets and gizmos to help keep your family jewels looking as shiny as ever. Make sure to use the code FLAME20 so that you can get 20% off your next Manscaped order, as well as free worldwide shipping. Go check out manscaped.com today.
And that is going to do it for this edition of Team Watch for West Ham. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Also, drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with any and all FPL news, from price changes when the season starts, the new transfer news, because remember, the transfer window doesn't actually end until the end of August, and anything in between, as well as give us a follow over on Twitch so you could join us live and exclusive for all of our FPL streams, preview, deadline, and any impromptu streams. Our first stream is tomorrow. That is the 1st of August. We're recording this on the Sunday, the day before our preview stream. We've got the new graphics all set up and ready to go, so I'm really excited for that as well. And lastly, make sure to check the link down in the description below for Fantasy Football Scouts members area. All the stats that you saw on today's video have come from the Fantasy Football Scout members area from the tables that I've made in there, and they're all public and available for people to check out if you have a subscription to Fantasy Football Scout. It's going to help improve your FPL game. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.